Many years ago, when I was a young Boy Scout, I was walking through the woods late at night. It was very dark. I reached into my pocket and took out a flashlight to find my way. The young scout leader next to me took the flashlight from me, saying, "Don't use a flashlight. Just wait a minute or two. Allow your eyes to become accustomed to the dark, and you will be surprised how well you can see." So I did. I waited, and sure enough, my eyes began to pick up on the lights that were already there, the stars, the moon, even the lightning bugs. After a short while, I found that I could see better in the dark than I would have been able to with the artificial light of my flashlight. The flashlight would have illumined a little spot of land at my feet, but now I had full vision. I could see everything around me. I was amazed to find that I could see better in the dark. This incident came back to my mind many years later, when as a young priest I was saying Mass in a church one night. All of a sudden a power failure occurred, and all that remained by which to see were the candles on the altar. The people began to panic and to scramble to find lights. "Don't worry," I told them. "Just wait a minute or two, and you will be able to see." Sure enough, after a short wait, we all found that we could see better in the darkness than in the light. This is the time of year when we find a plethora of lights all around us. In church, you may see lights on the garlands, on the wreaths, on the Christmas trees. You see Christmas lights adorning homes and shops everywhere you look. Our Jewish sisters and brothers at this time of year celebrate Hanukkah by lighting the lamps. It is the season of light. At this time of year, I love to admire the beautiful lights all around. But my thoughts always go back to that wise Boy Scout leader, and I wonder, do we really see better with all these lights? Do we really find God more in the light than in the darkness? From the time we were young, we were taught to fear the darkness and to avoid it. As adults, we encounter moments of inner darkness when fear or pain or loneliness seems to extinguish all light. God, too, is always represented as light, and indeed it is easy to be aware of the divine presence in the flame of a candle. We are always running from the dark and seeking refuge in the light. Yet it is astounding how many divine manifestations, those really big God moments, have taken place not in the light, but in the darkness. Moses looked for God and found God, we are told, in the thickest darkness. The Exodus occurred in the dark of night, and so did God's conversation with Abraham. The Buddha sought out dark caves for his meditation, as did St. John the Beloved and St. Francis of Assisi. It was in the darkness of the cave that Muhammad is said to have received the Quran. The resurrection itself took place in the darkness of a rock tomb. And the Christ child we celebrate today was born not in the Christmas glare of Candy Cane Lane, but in the Christmas darkness of a stable. Night makes up a large part of our everyday. Darkness is as sacred as the light and as much a gift from God. There is a divine mystery in the darkness, an encounter with God waiting to happen. When we flee the darkness, the difficult moments of life, we just might be running from God. We just might be running from ourselves. And we just might be missing out on the most profound, most important, most life-changing moment of our life. Often we hear it said, "It is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness." Much wonderful light has entered our world because of this wisdom. But there are times when it is even better neither to curse the darkness nor to dispel it, but to embrace it. There are times when it is good not to flee from the darkness of the stable, for it just might hold a newborn child. Not to flee the darkness of the tomb, for it just might be the scene of a resurrection. Not to flee from the darkness of our own loneliness, our own pain, our own fears and disappointments, for it just might be precisely there, in that darkness, that like the original ox and ass in the darkness of that stable long ago, we too will find ourselves face to face with our God.